about Kashta, the thought came to my mind, why is Devi addressed as Kashta Kantardha Vigraha? I didn't, it comes.
Okay, in Lalita Sahasranamam, right? Kashta Kantardha Vigraha.
Yeah, Vigraha.
The Vigraha, right. You know, I can make a guess. Okay, I can make a guess. See, Kanta means what? Kanta. Anybody can guess what Kanta means?
Normal meaning is spouse.
Husband.
Spouse.
Spouse.
Spouse. Okay. Kanta is spouse. Okay. Keep that aside. Kanta. Artha means? Artha means object. Artha means one who is sought after, that which is needed. Okay. And then Vigraha. Vigraha means a form, a murti. Okay. Therefore, she is the one who is the most desired of Paramatma, Parameshwara. Okay. She is the form. She is of the form of the most desired of Paramatma. Means what? She is the spouse of Bhagavan, you can say. That is the immediate meaning of that. Okay. The hidden meaning is what? Well, really speaking, both cannot exist without the other. Both cannot exist without the other. Well, Paramatma can exist without Kanta, without her. She cannot exist without him. But the world, if Paramatma wants to exist, she can exist. Brahman can always exist. But if the Jagat is required, Brahman is helpless. Brahman cannot create. Why? Because Nirgunam. Powerless. Absolutely powerless to create. Even one atom, Brahman cannot create. Maya Shakti is needed. Okay. Kantartha Vigraha is needed. Okay. Needed. That is why Ardhanarishwari, Ardhanarishwaraha. So you need both. They say what is that? Yin and yang. Yin and yang. Something they say. I don't know. I have to look into that more. But at least in our dharma, it is there, right? Apara prakriti, para prakriti. Both are needed. So that is one way in which I will interpret that. Kantartha Vigraha. Kantartha Vigraha. So that Kanta is there. Kanta is brought in. Ishvara is brought in. Kantuhu. Kanta means Kantir, I think it is. So we need to look into that. The grammar and all. But the Artha, that which is the most meaningful for Ishvara is Maya. Because without Maya, Paramatma is nothing. Paramatma can remain as Paramatma, no problem. But if the whole world is there, everything you want, she has to come in, step in. If she doesn't step in, nothing will work. Everything will stop. Whole world will stop. Huh?
Shiva Shaktya Yukta.
Correct. Good point Ramoji is bringing up. Saundarya Lahari. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum Nache Devam Nakalu. So, Prabhavitum Shaktaha. If Shiva wants to create, Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shakta Prabhavitum, he is capable of creating. Yadi Nache Devam, if it is not so, Nakalu. Spanditumapi. Not if this were not so, even Shiva's existence will not be known to anybody. Because the minute you say no, that means there is an action. There is something happening, and so she has to be there. For that awareness to be recognized, also she has to be there. Good point, Ramuji. Shiva Shaktya yadi yukto bhavati eva kushalaha spanditum. Kushalaha spanditum api. Yeah. And therefore, I worship. What does he say there? Atastvam aradhyam harihara virinchadibirapi. Therefore, you who is worshipped by Vishnu, by Brahma, Virinchi is Brahma, and by Shiva. Okay. And Katham akrita punyaha prabhavati aham. Hey, akrita punya. I have not done any punyam at all. I don't have any punyam. How am I going to worship you? I want to worship you, but I don't have any punyam. Like that, Shankaracharya is telling. Do you believe this sloka? Huh? First sloka of Saundari Lahari, is it not? Yeah. So it came in a movie, a Tamil movie long ago when I was studying in college. That was the first time I heard this. What is it? Jagannath. What is the name of
Janani, that song.
Janani. Beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
Tai Mogambikai. That is the name of the movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If I
Thank you,
okay.
Guruji.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so every word in Lalita is loaded, obviously. It's so much to study, right? We can spend hours and hours on that. Again, we'll pray that someday we can sit and study that also. Yeah?
I'd like that. Can you give me a source that I can learn the meanings and the significance of the words in the Lalita Sahasranama?
Sure.
Is there any text or something?
So do me a favor, send me a message on WhatsApp. That will be an indication to look for. Okay, we'll do that.
Yes, thank you.
Complete commentary. Lalita Sahasranama commentary.
Yeah, so we'll see what's the best. And we don't want to get too detailed and very expository, right? She's probably looking for something basic, right? That you can see. Yeah. Yeah, if Ramuji, if you can find something like that, let me know.
There's one website called Man something.
Yeah, go ahead and send it. We'll just not discuss it.
Just look it up.
No problem. Anuradha ji, go ahead.
Thank you, Ramuji.
Today the class you started with the macro and micro. That is very important. Otherwise, people we would only argue about which is better, Shiva, Kailasha, and there comes Advaita Vedanta is the only one that says no quarrel with any of the philosophies in anywhere, that okay, you can do it, but at the end you will have to come to Vedanta.
So correct. So how Swamiji would put it as, we are analyzing the reality of the world, reality of everything in the world. Reality can only be one. There can't be two or three parallel realities. It's not possible. So either all these philosophies, either everybody is wrong or only one person can be correct. Everybody can be wrong also, right? Because they're all theories come floating around. But only one thing can. That is why, so therefore, when you start asking these questions, the minute you say, what is Swarga? Then over. What are you saying? I don't deny existence of Swarga, but you tell me more. What do I get out of going to Swarga? What happens to me after that? Is that you have to tell me something more. And when you analyze it, it's actually not difficult at all. Really, Advaita Vedanta is the easiest topic. Every other non-Vedanta is more difficult because you have to believe a lot. Believe a lot. Believing may be easy for some people. Believing is very easy. We can all believe. But there are certain things that you can't sit and believe. That's a problem. We can believe what is believable. As
Yeah.
Swamiji said, you can believe what is believable. You can believe in Swarga, all that you can believe. Kailasa, I cannot believe, nothing wrong. You believe it. And but then, if you start telling me about Nityam and Anityam, then I'll start asking questions. You already given me a clue that Atma is Nityam, Tat Sarvam Anityam, Anatma Anityam. If you say, my God, this is too fascinating, then tell me Swarga, is it? Vecharanga. Ulla vecharanga. Therefore, you tell me now, Atma, Anatma, Nityam, Anityam. So tell me more. Is Anatma Nityam or Anityam? Anatma is Anityam. Okay. Then what? Then what about Swarga? Swarga is Nityam or Anityam? Hey, Swarga is an object of your perception. It is one of the 4 types of results of karma, which is Apyam, Utpadyam, Samskaryam, Vikaryam. Therefore, what? Therefore, Swargam has to be Anatma. Therefore, Anityam. That's it. Then the game is just changing rapidly at that point. Correct? Suddenly, the direction is changing completely because it's logical, very logical at that.
Because when we talk about para bhakti, and it's not easy to just have para bhakti in these days of all this research work and all that. It is so hard to have para bhakti. This path is much easier than that. At least that's what my thinking.
So one must be ready for it, right? We can say here in this class it's easy, but then why is there not a big line waiting to study this, right? It's not like we are overflowing with people. That's because it requires some preparedness, right? Preparedness is needed. And the minute person decides, yeah, this is it, means this is what is going through. I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. If somebody gets that idea, that's it. That person will not rest until that happens. And we are not talking about any beliefs here. Beliefs are there, but we don't talk much about beliefs in this class. We keep our beliefs. Whatever we believe, we keep our beliefs. We continue to believe all that. But this inquiry takes predominance in our lives. And Shastram says that is the greatest blessing. Why it is the greatest blessing? Because what I believe in is not going to get me what this vichara is going to get me.
Yeah.
What I believe in may take me to Swarga. Okay. May take me to Swarga also. But this vichara is greater than that also. That's
So
the beauty.
isn't it true that we kept it like thinking that it needs the adhikaritvam to get it, but really speaking with the experience of the life itself teaches you some of that adhikaritvam once you go through the life. So I feel that, like how the Sanatana Dharma kept it to themselves, and that's why it was not going anywhere, stayed in little areas. And now Modi ji is coming and like opening the door. So maybe we could do some things too, like instead of thinking that, oh, it's like, it needs all this, so we wouldn't talk. Shouldn't we just say it?
See, if we look at, that is one way of looking at what you said. our time span. We are just looking at our time span of 50 years, 100 years, and or maybe 500 years, maybe 1,000 years. And we are saying, we might say, no, we have kept it to ourselves and we have not done a good job of taking it out there. Okay, we might say that. But then, what about the Chatur Yuga? What about Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga? These are all hundreds of thousands of years long. And even, suppose I ask you a question. How many human lives we have had before this human life?
We don't know.
Okay. Did we ever have a human life before this human life? Simpler question.
We don't know, but that's a big possibility.
We don't know because there is no data to know that. But since we believe in karma, Shastram also says that I've had many lives and this is one of the lives in that journey. And many births have taken place. Infinite births have passed. You can't count it all. Among that, if I ask, have there been any human births? I have to say
Yes.
yes or no.
Yes.
I have to say yes because
of the karma phala, that's why I'm here today.
correct. Because
They're
I'm
doing
here
the
today
Vedanta.
because of the karma, my karma. And who got my karma? An animal cannot gain karma. A plant cannot gain karma. A self-conscious being with free will only can gain karma phalam. And therefore, I must have had a life before like this. Doesn't matter what body it was, 4-legged, 5-legged, and all, doesn't matter for us at all. Horns were there. Let there be horns. We are not concerned or serious about it. Okay. So that kind of life. Then what about before that? Yeah, to God get that body, I must have some past karma. Therefore, there was another life before that life. This can go on and on. It will keep going. And therefore, there is no end to this. Because karma phala, karma. There is no end. It's not possible. But the possibility of an end, even Vishishtadvaita will say, yeah, your end is there. Once you go to Vaikuntha, that's the end. That's it. After that, all your problems gone. And you'll be there ever after. Correct? Ever after. What if somebody says, I can't accept it. Vaikuntha is anityam. I know Vaikuntha is anityam. It doesn't require a big lecture to figure out that Vaikuntha is anityam. Anything within time and space is anityam, period. Even if Vishnu is sitting there, it is still anityam only. After a long time, Vishnu also has to go to Shiva and say, now, you know what? I have only a few more years left here. What should I do? They should have a meeting. Tripartite meeting they will have. Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva have to have a meeting to discuss what next. So, those are all pretty straightforward once you begin analyzing this.
Yeah, because everybody like of us, like whatever we study, what's any subject, say dance or music, we need the goal.
Let me finish what I was saying.
Okay.
Your point of why we kept it and why should we not just tell the whole world. Point I was trying to say is, what about this whole yuga? It is just coming down and down and down like this. We had another human birth like this before. Did we keep it to ourselves there or what? What about the birth before that? Did we keep it to ourselves? What about the birth before that? Did we keep it to ourselves? What about the birth before that? Did we keep it to ourselves? So I'm saying keeping it to ourselves is limited to our limited understanding of history in this past 100,000 years. Okay, that's a very small period in this long Chaturyuga period, and beyond Chaturyuga also they say Brahmaji's 100 years is there. We know. And there they say this is how the Yuga is, Satya Yuga. We expect the Shastram to be the primary source of study for everybody, Satya Yuga. Then slowly now Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, you have to hunt for good teachers. Thankfully, this Shastram is available to us. Thankfully, correct? And so Kali Yuga also, this Vidya is available. So to your question, did we just keep it to ourselves? Means that is a popular, that's what they say popularly. That is to put us down, they say. But what can you do? I am teaching Vedanta. This is Brahma Vidya. This will relieve you of your bandha and all. If you say, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Why? Because even though this knowledge is available, the people must be there to receive it. That receiving buddhi is not there in Kali Yuga. There must be a buyer, right? Seller is there, a buyer must be there. If the buyer is not there, what is the use of selling it? There's no sale will happen. And so, so that statement that we have kept it ourselves is not totally true. There may be only some element of truth to that. And so that completes my answer to your question. Now you are talking about your next point.
Yeah, it's like we all know about what we want, right? That at some age, like, we know that, okay, this subject, I will learn this subject, I will learn that. So the definition of moksha is to be understood. And maybe we have different understanding with different philosophy.
And so your question is?
This Advaitam is very clear on its goal. That that's what I am. So you know that it is you. All along it's saying from the very beginning.
Yeah. So, I mean, we shouldn't imply that the Vishishta Advaitis are not clear about their goal. They are also very clear. They are also crystal clear. Every other Madhvas are also crystal clear. Okay, we should not say they are not clear. They are very clear. We are also clear. This mindset is so important. That mindset. I am a bhokta, and that is the reality. And therefore, my next level of enjoyment is to be obtained only in Swarga. I am still an enjoyer. I continue to take myself as this body, mind, sense complex. And I'm going to have some other body, mind, sense complex in Swarga. And I continue to be an enjoyer. And there I'll be free from all these migraine headaches and all this. This is the thinking. We are unable to get out of this thinking, correct? That I am this body alone. And so I can't preserve this body beyond some time, 100 years max. After that, the body will fall. And then, okay, the next best thing is what? Let me secure my next janma, right? Let me secure my next janma. That's the best life insurance. After this life insurance, that is the next life insurance. And our acharyas give me that life insurance to go to the next janma, go to Swarga. And so I quietly follow them. But that's why sometimes we say a thinking person cannot stay away from Advaita. We say that because that's why we also say Acharyas, Ramanujacharya, etc. We don't consider them to be not knowledgeable of Advaita Vedanta. They do know it very well. They may have, look at this argument, they may have decided, you know what, for this time and place, Advaita is not the right thing for this country and my people. And so I'm going to emphasize this Vishishta Advaita, which people can grasp. People can hang on to. It will protect them and let them be protected that way. and let Advaita be, and whenever whoever wants to go to Advaita, go. He could have thought like that. He may not have expressed. Now, Vishishta Advaitis will not agree with my argument like that. Will not agree. Because that means I am somehow saying Ramanujacharya was an Advaitin but chose to highlight Vishishta Advaita. They will slap me if I say that. But, we have to, we are free to think in this class differently. So yeah, I think this is Maya. This is the way it is. This is the way it is. How much ever you think, know, decide, invent, discover, push, pull, this is the way it is. Correct?
So I should keep my mouth.
Anuradha ji is saying, so I should keep my mouth shut. I mean, Shastram is vast, and our prayer is that we should study more and more, and by asking and sharing ideas, we will only strengthen our understanding. No dialogue is a waste. If I sense that it's a waste, I myself will say, let's keep it, call me afterwards. Let's not waste everybody's time to discuss that. I will myself say that. So nothing is a waste. Nothing is a waste.
But isn't it true that all the like Vishishta Dvaita, like that they also believe that we are not just the body and mind.
Correct. Good point. They also believe it.
Yeah, because they're also in Vedanta.
How do you know? How do we know they also believe it? What is the proof for that? What is the proof for what you just said? What is the proof for the statement that even Vishishta Advaitis and Madhvas also believe that I am not the body? That is the question. What is the answer to that question?
I have my answer, but it's not logical. My answer is that I have heard from Acharya.
Okay, you heard
No.
from Acharya. Any other answers?
Yeah, I think they also believe that there is a Sukshma Sharira which is going and probably merging with the divine.
Correct. So the fact that my life is going to end now and my journey is going to continue means what? That continuation is not of this body. It has to be something other than this grass body. And that grass body is who I am. I mean, other than the grass body is who I am. Correct? Right there, that is a proof that they also believe that this body is just the container of this life for me, and I am something more than that, they believe. And that more is going to settle down in that Svargaloka in a different body. That is the belief. Correct.
But
they do
then
believe.
how do you know? How do you know then?
How do you know they're going to settle down?
No, that other body that went from this one that wants to go to Swarga, and when it reaches, it gets another body. So how would he know that it's him?
So, okay. So that's a different question. Question is, do Vishishta Advaitis also recognize that I am more than the body?
Yes.
In fact, I am not the body. That is the first question. So we have to settle that. Answer is yes. They also believe by being exposed to the Shastram, Vishishta Advaita Shastram, or Bhagavad Gita, etc. They know, yeah, I am not the body. I'm not the body. This is just a temporary residence that I'm in. I have to give up this residence for something bigger, better, permanent, bigger, better, permanent also, right? This permanence, we won't give up this permanence, right? Everybody is seeking the permanence. That much is clear. That much is very clear. We are just analyzing what is permanence. That's all we say. And our idea of permanence is different, very different. And
But I somehow feel that the maybe limited thinking, but difference probably is in Vishishta Advaita. The end goal is later, right? Whereas in what we are studying, it can be here right now. Right? Eventually, okay, whether it goes and merges with divine or whether there is an end to our karma and all, that's different story. But I think for us, moksha can happen now is what is being advocated in Advaita Vedanta. Whereas there, it is probably after death, Swarga or Vaikuntha or whatever, right? That's one difference which I feel. But otherwise, even moksha for them, I think definition wise, may be the same. Getting free from whatever bondage we are caught up in, getting free from samsara. That is still the same, right?
Correct. So that is still the same definition. Freedom from sorrow.
Freedom
Bandha.
from sorrow.
Now, everybody's goal is the same. Correct. Correct. How is the question? How is where we all differ. Correct? So correct. So freedom from sorrow, it's a general definition of moksha. Much dhatu. And bandha mokshane. And so, correct. In that, everybody is very clear.
Yeah.
I don't want to be unhappy. Period. That's it. Even the literate person will say the same thing. Illiterate person also will say the same. One who knows the Shastra will say the same thing. One who doesn't know ABCs of the Shastra also will say the same.
And that person who does not know ABC of Shastra can also get moksha.
So that is why I said Ramanujacharya felt that this is the way to go. This is it. And Advaita, let it be there for a few people. If they want to study, that's good. I bless them. But majority is going to be blessed only by Vishishtadvaita. Correct. All you have to do is believe in this particular Vishnu or Vishnu's avatars, and that's it. So yeah, that's it. Job is over, right? I believe in this Shastram and I believe in my Guruji, and Guruji is helping me and God is helping me. God is helping all of us, in fact. Over. Game is over for them. Analysis is not. There is only stories and stories and stories of how Vishnu saved his devotees. Okay. And beautiful stories are there. We love to hear those stories. That's about it. Everything is Satyam, correct? The minute you analyze Satyam and Mithya, you can't let. But he is asking the question, what is the reality of this world? Then the Vishishta Advaita will not appeal to that person. That much I think we all agree.
Yeah, but Guruji, for them also, everything else is mithya except maybe Vishnu is Satyam. That Vishnu is not like that.
Everything, you are Satyam, I am Satyam, this object is Satyam, clock is, everything is Satyam, this Jagat is Satyam. Sorrow is also Satyam. And therefore, I want a Satyam happiness. And Satyam happiness is only available forever in that particular loka.
Okay, Vishishta Advaita advocates that.
Everything, in fact, anything other than Advaita Vedanta will say everything is Satyam. Okay. And your Atma is different from my Atma. Everybody's
Aneka
Atma.
Purushaha. Aneka Purushaha.
Aneka Purushatvam. So, Bahulatvam. Atma Bahulatvam means many Atmas. As many Atmas as living beings are there. Like this, it goes on. That we can put an end to all that argument very quickly. But that's there. Because only if you analyze, if you don't analyze, you can believe in anything. Anything is believable if I don't want to think beyond a point. It's not that I don't say they are illogical or anything. I won't say they are illogical. They are also thinking people only. But the boundary is within this much boundary only, the thinking is there. Beyond that, I don't want to think, I don't need to think.
Because they also talk about seeing God in everyone. Same, that's what Bhakti people, I'm talking more about the Bhakti people. They see or they advocate seeing divine in every creature, everything.
Correct.
So all those
Very important. That is important. That is very important also.
And surrendering to the divine completely.
Surrendering to Paramatma is there. Surrendering to Vishnu is there. Yeah. Prapattihi.
Yeah, that's
Prapatti.
one.
Prapatti is surrender. Complete surrender. Really speaking, we also talk about complete surrender. Means what? Because I'm now a victim of Ragattveshas. There is nothing, even to get knowledge. Tell me what. Can I will it?
No,
Can't
absolutely.
will it. If I could will it, I can be enlightened today, right now.
Okay.
No, it's possible. Therefore, complete. I surrender to the Pramanam. I surrender to Paramatma. I surrender to Shiva. I can surrender to Vishnu also. I have that problem I don't have. I can surrender to Devi also and tell her with folded hands, please, just may help me stay focused. Help me get this Vidya. You are the goddess of Aparavidya and Paravidya. My interest is in Paravidya. Make me even more interested. Surrender, complete surrender is needed. Because I don't control. I don't call the shots. Therefore, Vishishtadvaita's advice is very good. I would say very good. Just one aspect we highlight that, this jnanam is so critical because the problem is a cognitive problem. Therefore, the solution also is cognitive. That is it. Advaita shines because of that. The $1 million discovery. Correct?
But I think after a point, maybe, meaning all these Shankaracharya, Madhavacharya, all enlightened people, right? For them, after a point, there is probably no difference. Okay, for people who are approaching, maybe there is difference, but they may not see any difference between the two.
And
Because
so,
once
what is
you are in that state, you are not in any Dvaita, right?
And so, what is your question?
No, I'm saying it's all maybe for people on the journey. We are probably trying to find differences, but once you reach the end goal, it's all the same, I guess.
So, correct. Once you wake up from your dream,
For everyone, it's the same.
the dream was so real. You swore that the dream is real. That is why you were sweating in your dream. Okay. Even though it's an air-conditioned room, you're still sweating. Correct? That means the dream was absolutely real for me. And then I wake up and say, oh, it was a dream. Now, so there it is Pratibhasika Satyam. I took it as Vyavaharika Satyam. Here, how do you know Vyavaharika Satyam is the ultimate Satyam? We say no, Vyavaharika Satyam is there. There's another thing called Paramarthika Satyam. Correct? Exactly like you went from Pratibhasikam to Vyavaharikam, you need to go one more step. That is the grand vision of Vedanta. That's it. Once we get that into our head, you can't get out of it. And so now this person, this is an enlightened person, like you said, Jnani, etc. Everything is same if you say, Jnani should have lunch or not.
Should have. No, I was saying same because for a waker, whether he's whichever philosophy he believes, all of them say yes, it was a dream, and they don't think it was real after he wakes up. So the waker's experience is the same about the dream for everyone. Same way, this person who becomes the super waker or whatever we call, for him also it will be the same, is what I feel. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, no, so you're talking about the super waker enlightened Jnani's experience after Jnanam. Correct? And we are trying to imagine. I mean, if you're a Nani, you don't have Jnani, you don't have to imagine. If not, you have to imagine what that experience can be. Correct? And so, Dvaitam. Satyam is Advaitam. Everything else is a projection on that Satyam. Because of that, I'm free. Okay, that's what we're studying here, right? That knowledge frees me completely. Okay. We give the dream example just to highlight a very important point. And that important point is what? How can Atma be the Satyam of this entire world? Where a world of object, everything is different. Book is different from clock, is different from computer, is different from plastic, is different from concrete, and from all the things that are there. You're telling me that Atma is the Adhishtanam of the whole thing. The whole thing is superimposed on consciousness, you're saying. To appreciate that vision is where we bring the dream example. Without a world, there is really no world at all. Still, I dance around in my dream, okay? And I still chase dogs, and I still, dogs are chasing me in my dream. How this drama is happening? How is it possible? Oh, it's a dream. That oh, it's a dream statement is a very important statement for us. For us, you hang on to the dream and say, my goodness, how did that happen? If I could take that Advaita Vastu, that me was there, the entire dream is me, the content of the dream is me, therefore so much differentiation could happen. And then the differentiation, laya, mayi sarvam layam yati, tasmad brahmasmyam advayam, aham advayam. And therefore it becomes such an important thing. Now, how is this guy going to see the world after Jnana? If you ask, it is no different than how do you see sun's motion when you see the sun in the day? Is there any difference if I ask you? Or how do you see the mirage after knowing that it's a mirage? There is so much water out there, shining water. How do you see it? The guy, the particle physicist also will see the same thing that this ignorant me also is going to see. Same thing. Ditto means ditto. But the response will be different. The guy in the desert, he says, oh, there's water. But this guy is not going to make any such statement. Response will be opposite. Different means what kind of difference? Opposite. It is not going to be affected by that at all. However attractive or distractive or destructive it is, right? No chance. No chance means who is not affected? Body is going to be affected. If he goes in the rain, he will get wet. And he may get a flu and all these things. Anything can happen. Never confuse what happens to the body to who I am. Correct? We have to kind of learn to come over that. Because everywhere else it is bhoktritvam. I am free of sorrow forever. And it's going to happen in this life with Advaita Vedanta. If we say, we will have to ask the question, deal with the question, will the jnani ever get upset or dejected or depressed? Okay. That is practicality. That's where finally all these things should end up with. If the jnani is going to get as depressed later as he was before, then these studies are no use. We can just stop all this and just do something else. Do some Bitcoin or something like that. But no, it's not like that. No chance. Yeah, some ups and downs will be there in Jnani's life also because pain is going to be experienced by the Jnani. And Jnani also has to deal with people. Everything, the transactions are going on. Vyavaharika Satyam is still there. He sees the Paramarthikam, but Vyavahara is there still. Guy is going to ask, where is your Aadhaar card? He can't say Aadhaar card is Atma, you are Atma, I am Atma, and Atma cannot be given in a hand. Like that, if he starts talking, he won't do that. Why he won't do that? Because he is very clear. Clear. Svabhavika Satyam, Dharma is there. I must follow Dharma also, even though I am beyond Dharma. Anyatra Dharmat, Anyatra Dharmat. Playing a role. Like a child asks you, small baby, 2-year-old baby says, Uncle, please come and play basketball or some balloons. I got some balloons. Play with me. Throw. I want to throw one. What will you do? I am too old to play with balloons. I have better things to do than play with balloons. No, I don't say that. I say, yes, baby, beta, aao, let's play. It's a joy. I love to play balloons. You just excite the boy. The boy says, wow, uncle is playing balloons with me. And just tamasha ho raha hai. Just everybody's happy. But that happiness, it's not like because of playing balloons, I became happy. No such idea Jnani will have. Not Jnani, in this case, any human being, any adult. Same way, Jnani will go through this life. Whatever is happening, I am untouched by what happens. Even the pain that I experience, I am untouched by it. So this freedom from pain idea, that is what I am saying. Vishittadvaitis, everybody are bhogis. Bhogis because they are wanting a life free of pain. And we are saying, no, you cannot have a life free of pain because you will experience pain. But guess what? Pain is you, but you are not pain. This is knowledge. This is knowledge, huge knowledge. But if I, no, I want a life free of pain, if I say, and that is my idea of moksha, then Vishishtadvaita is waiting for me. Correct? Waiting for me. Because not in this life, but next life I can be free of pain. And those who want to believe it can believe it. And that's true also. We won't disagree with that. We won't disagree with the fact. What fact? That in Vaikuntha Kailasha, there is no, it's a pain-free life. We will accept that. We have no problem with that. But the forever aspect, we will say, forever business, you go to Vaikuntha, check with Krishna. Ask him about the shloka. Ask him what he means by that shloka. Okay. What is that shloka? It starts with, before Tine Punya, what happens? That shloka starts. Okay. And so ask him to explain that shloka to you. That will be my advice to that guy. And then send me a WhatsApp message, what he told. That's it. So therefore, I think the difficulty lies there. The difficulty lies in, oh, I'm studying all this Shastram, but still I'm subject to pain. That is difficult to accept. That is difficult to accept. Subject to pain means body will suffer pain. Therefore, and which I don't want. Nobody, even a jnani does not want that pain. Because pain is experienced. But a jnani knows. Pain is a result of karma. Karma phalam has to be experienced. Nobody can say no to that. Even a jnani cannot stop that. It is like Ishuvat, Mukta Ishuvat. Mukta Ishuvat means what? It is like the arrow that has been released from the bow. Nobody can stop its journey. It has to take its own time to go until the momentum dies and until it falls. Shankaracharya uses that word. Mukta Ishuvat. That is how this body is. And so, that's the story, Vijayji.
Yeah, I heard someone say that there's only two ways you cannot have any pain. Either you have to be dead or you have to be in coma. So some guy who came to Houston a few years ago, somebody asked this question: how do I get pain-free life? So he said,
or one more third option is there. Or you pump this anesthesia to you whenever you feel like it, like Michael Jackson did. Okay.
yeah.
So
Well, I don't know whether he was pain-free. We never know. So, I mean, I was making a question. Actually, it is very interesting because one thing is because all this Advaita Vedanta was the first one to came into being. I mean, because Shankaracharya lived many years before Ramanuja and Madhvacharya. So that was a higher, to me, the way I look at it, that was a higher level of thinking. And maybe people could comprehend, so they kind of diluted it to Advaita, further diluted it to Dvaita, for people can comprehend. It's like maybe Advaita was too abstract.
So we have to understand, even before Shankara also, Narayana, Bhagavad was there, Gaudapada was there, his Guru, and they were all there. Advaita Acharyas were there. Advaita was predominant all along.
Yeah.
Until we walked away from that, slowly, walked away. Then there became a population which needed something palatable, something easier. Panacea was needed, I suppose. And that's another way to look at it. Yeah. Shankaracharya was there and Advaita was there all along. But there was probably a need for other simpler darshanas, probably. That is one thing.
People could not comprehend. That's where I get it. They were not, knowledgeable.
We lost the preparedness.
I don't know, preparedness or mental ability, whatever you want to call it, over generations. Yeah, because Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, I also taught the same thing years ago and again I'm teaching. Means what? The people forgot or stopped doing it, right? He said, what I'm teaching you is nothing new, right?
And he also says what? Yogo nashtah parantapa. Nashtaha bhavat. So that which I taught, it's now harder to find. Sorry to say.
So that is understandable, because not everybody can understand very high thinking thing. I mean, as you know, I've seen in I've been some meetings here in Houston about Advaita Vedanta. Somebody comes, hardly very few people will come. Very few people will come. Whereas people like Dushyant Sridhar or somebody else come, a lot of people come, because it's like storytelling, right? It's just one-way monologue, so to speak, like Jay Leno, Letterman, monologue. So you just listen, and people love to hear story. Because I remember when I was in schools, elementary schools, there was no television, none of these things. The only thing was they used to have that Katha Kalacham. People used to come like Manjakudishra, Rajagopala Shastrigal, and all different people, or Shengalipuram, Anantarama Diksha. They all come do the thing for 45 days. We all listen, because that was, and to make the audience interesting, Hanuman, they will say he gave a left hook, right hook, and all people are excited, because that's what enthralls people. Whereas if you take abstract thing, I'm sure he will empty the hall pretty quick.
Left hook, right hook. Yeah, it's correct. You're right. I mean, that's so nice to see.
That's how it is. People love all that. He pulled a tree and hit somebody. Everybody is excited. I mean, we were excited. Okay, I can understand we were young. But even older people were excited.
But we have been fooled all the time.
That's why, I remember in my 5th grade,
and
one of my language teacher used to say that, we all listen to Ramayana again and again. I guarantee you, nobody is going to tell a different story. Everybody will say Sita is Rama's wife only, Lakshmana is Rama's brother only. Nobody is going to say again. So what you should understand is what is the teaching in that, rather than just listening. This is what my 5th grade language teacher used to say.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The maturity, when a person becomes a little more mature, the person will ask the question, why am I living like this? This question should come. Generally, people will get it.
But this pravajanas, there is no opportunity to ask question.
So why am I living like this means what? And then that question becomes an important question in one's life, right? What's the purpose of my life? Is there something greater? Like these questions start coming and it gains greater and greater promise. Initially, just a spark. Then you become really serious about this topic. For that person only you have, and the person begins to somehow they say, what does it say? Ishvara anugrahat eva pumsam advaita vasana. So that advaita vasana also is needed. Asana is needed. Otherwise, it's not possible. Because you can't use free will. And it's that self, Atma Kripa is needed. And then the situation has to build. And the right person comes to you, right? Everything has to mix. And then magic happens. So yeah, the Anuradha ji is saying that we were led to believe wrongly or something, right? And to believe wrongly means people are helpless. People can only tell us what they know. They can't tell us what they don't know. Okay. And that's the best they could know. That's the best they could do. And so really we can't blame anybody also. And that's why sometimes I point the finger to British people. Not that I want to give up my responsibility. I said, they are the guys. If at all anybody knew, it's those people who knew. The Max Miller knew this Vedas is what is making the society strong. Sanskrit is what is making the society strong. He figured it out. We did not figure out. Okay. We have to learn from people like him.
No,
So
maybe we didn't figure it out because at that time that was the way of life, right? I mean, before they came.
Yeah, at that
now
time.
we are trying to figure out.
Correct. So anyway, good discussion. We'll
All right.
continue. Yeah. Thank you. Hari Om. Take care.